This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
Made by one of my good friends SIGS, costing you 46,000 stone, 12,000 wood, and 10,000 metal frags, I, TacoTuesday, think I found one of the most affordable yet effective small bases. Let's check it out, shall we? Through the doorway, we have a dump chest. This dump chest was placed right above the second door when it was opened. You can store anything you like in here, but I advise that you move everything inside as soon as possible. Over here, sorry for the lighting, it's a little dark, but it's bearable with the lantern. Here's a small chest, but anyways, here's the central cupboard. You might notice a large door. I will fly over there using no clip here in a second, but it's got a little feature. So, I don't know, let's say somebody's online raiding you, and they compromise central cupboard. You can spawn in this little bag right here, and you can walk over, step on the landmines, break the cupboard, transferring all cupboard access to the outside cupboards. Obviously this should only work with an online raid, so you might want to be careful with that. Over here you can jump onto the doorway, and you can access the ladder hatch. Works really well. Anyways, let's climb up. Up here, this is where your shooting ports will be. Over here, you can come over here, jump and crouch on top of the box, and shoot somebody from the distance. Little peek hole so you can shoot somebody down below, kinda simple. Another window. And we'll tell you this about the peek holes. You want to be careful or cautious just in case somebody does kill you, for your gun has a small chance of falling through. That's something to be apprehensive about. Here, these two chests are just used to store bolties and ammo. Anyways, in the central pod we have a second cupboard. This second cupboard is placeable in vanilla. What this second cupboard does is when they compromise the first cupboard and they try to build up, they will be unable to reach that floor. So here, this is the loot room, so I will open up all these doors before I show things off. Over here, in each pod, we have 2 large chests, 2 small chests, a furnace, and a lantern. All very symmetrical. As of the current update, devblog 140, the only structures you can place deployables through are low walls and large doorways. Anyways, in these doorways, we have 4 large chests. These will act as extra loot rooms for extra storage, because more the merrier. Here are 5 small furnaces. There's a small chest to store any unsmelted metal and some wood. Anyways, up to our roof. Our roof design is actually really simple to be honest, but regardless, it's good. Here, these water rails you can crouch underneath to get a good shooting port, in which it'll be hard for them to hit you, but easier to hit them. 45-degree roofs, kinda simple. Want to snipe the naked? You can do so using these. Central pod, you guessed it, another cupboard. This cupboard will make it nearly impossible for them to raid tower your base. Anyways guys, let's move on to the base build. So here's the foundation plan we're going to be working with. Some of you guys may be asking, hey, why not just add squares and triangles to fortify the sides? In which I would respond, you could just do this. Here the high walls cost tremendously less than the squares and triangles, and it maintains the same amount of protection as adding the honeycomb. It also adds an intimidation feel rather than having a big fat circle base. Another thing, you're going to want to have your foundations decently high because you don't want the spikes of the high wall to stake through the floor and prickle you as you try to snipe a naked, so remember to keep them high. Alright, so it's the starter wipe and you're ready to get a starter base set up. You're going to need 4.5k stone in preparation of this step. Set up square and triangle foundations to a formation like this. Next, wall it off quickly. At this point, you're going to be very vulnerable since you're only building, so you want to make haste. Once you're done walling off your first floor, wall off your second floor. You don't need to put a roof on this yet, but I do advise that you wall off to your second floor so nobody can just boost in. Next, put a normal wood door and a normal lock. Make sure you be very cautious with your keys so you don't lose it and give another person your base. You'll get a little formation that looks like a J. Next, once you have a cupboard crafted, put it in the very corner. From there, you're going to put your bag down so you can get back here, because you don't want to lose your base forever. Next, put a large chest. This will be your little storage until you can expand your base properly. Next, put a furnace and a small chest and begin smelting metal so you can replace that wooden door with a metal one. Once you get enough metal, replace that normal lock and that normal wood door with a sheet metal door and a code lock. You want to do this quickly, for now you're very vulnerable since you don't have a door, so you also want to be careful and cautious. Alrighty, now that that's done, get your foundation plan and fill in the roof. Place one normal square tile above where your cupboard and your loot is, a square tile next to that, and then place your floor frame. This is where your ladder hatch will go. Next, start expanding your foundations. I'll have Fortify running on the top right, so if you need a top view, there you go. Next, bring all your walls up to the second floor. This will be your honeycombing. This should be kind of simple, so just be careful for other people that might be willing to attack you. Alrighty, so once you get more metal frags, fill in your doorways with your doors. These will be your airlocks. Put codes in, etc., and then go work on your third floor. If you do recall, our third floor would be our shooting ports. I will be using metal for the floors just to force them to use explosives to go floor to floor, because it's much more difficult to pickaxe a metal floor tile than it is to pickaxe a stone one. So that's why I'll be using metal here. Alrighty, time to place your stone walls. Place it as close to the base as possible. The one thing you want to check for is if they can't just jump through it here. So here, this gap is a little big, but you generally want your gaps like this so they can't really shoot rockets through and explode more than one wall at a time, but yeah. So do that for all sides and I'll be right back. Alrighty, now once you got your walls done, get started on the frame of the loot room. You can use my design or your own, completely up to you. Just remember to once again, make the floors metal. Alrighty, now that you have your template done, start filling in your furnaces in your chest. Just remember that you can still place chests through low walls. Alrighty, now what you're going to do is you're kind of just going to fill in your roof. Kind of simple, I don't really need to explain that, so let's move on with the next step. Alrighty, so now let's travel back to the first floor. Remove all that stuff that you used in preparation of the base, and begin working on your primary cupboard. What you're going to do is you're going to get landmines, hopefully you'll be able to afford them at this point of the game, and you're going to place them in these two similar locations as I did. Next, don't place the cupboard yet, because you want to place the ones on the top floor first, so we'll hold on to that one. Next, wall off this little area and head on up to the very top floor, aka your roof. Alrighty guys, so once you're on the roof, place the cover in the designated spot that you created before. How this is going to work is you're going to have to place the covers in order from the one on the top floor, to the third floor, to the first floor. Make sure you put it in that order, otherwise it will not work. How the stacking cupboard works is pretty much it's using an exploit from the cupboard's radius. So the cupboard usually has a very powerful outward and upward radius, but it doesn't have a very strong downward radius. So we're using this exploit as a method of stacking cupboards. Anyways guys, thank you all so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and if we make 100 likes on this video, from starting Tuesday, I will do an attempt to do daily uploads all the way to the end of this week, which is really hard for me to do, but I'm going to do it anyways because I will struggle just to make you guys happy. So thank you guys all so much for watching. Remember, 100 likes and I'll do a daily upload this entire week, starting Tuesday. Anyways guys, peace.